by what you need to understand
Yes, ma'am.
is that by not really taking personal responsibility and making us go through this circus that we've been going through now for an hour and a half of trying to prove that you actually have been convicted of felony offenses.
Yes, ma'am.
When you know darn well that you have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Segura, when you were here and entered your plea of guilty, I asked you some very specific questions about pleading guilty freely and voluntarily, and then pleading guilty because you actually did what they charged you with, and your answers to both of those were yes. The version, however, that of your version that I received here in the pre-sentence report is a little different. It says that you didn't have the drink until your vehicle was stopped. And so your version, if I'm to believe it, is that you stopped at the Taco Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
You drove to the Taco Bell.
I drove to the Taco Bell.
You stopped at the Taco Bell and you drank while your vehicle was stopped.
No, ma'am. I was outside the vehicle when the officer.
So you hung out at Taco Bell.
I was
and drank.
I was waiting for the line to move so I could get my food.
I asked that the defendant be sworn.
Yeah. Let's do that. Raise your right hand. You
Yes,
swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
So help me God.
Okay, so you're saying that you got to Taco Bell. You drove to Taco Bell.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I made a right turn with my signal and everything. Then I was about to park my vehicle. That's where the swerve came in at. Okay, obviously it has to be. And then so
I'm not worried about, hold
yeah.
on.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I want to know when you got to Taco Bell, regardless of whatever happened,
Right.
did you go through the drive-through or
No.
did you park?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I
Listen to
parked-
my question. Did you go through the drive-through or did you park?
I parked my
Okay.
car.
So when you parked your car at Taco Bell, you start having alcohol at that point?
No, ma'am. I got out of my vehicle to see how far traffic was up in front of me.
Okay.
They had several cars in front of me.
In front of you for what? You were parked.
Yeah, I was parked like
Were you parked in a parking spot or were you
No,
parked in
ma'am.
the drive-through?
I was not exactly in the drive-through. I was at the end of the store. At the end of the store.
Okay.
But I guess you could consider that the drive-through line.
Were you waiting for the
I was
drive-through?
waiting for the drive-through to
Okay,
proceed
listen,
because-
here's the thing. You're not going to try to trick me up with semantics
No,
today.
ma'am.
Hold on, don't talk over me.
Yes, ma'am.
When I say, were you going through the drive-through or were you parked? What does that mean? That means, did you park your car because you're going to go in the store, or were you waiting in the line to go through the
I was
drive-through?
actually waiting to go through the drive-through.
Okay. I may look, I don't know, like I'm 12 years old and just fell off the
No,
turnip
no,
truck,
ma'am.
but I'm not.
No, ma'am. I'm
So
not.
you're in the line and you get out of your vehicle, right? Because
Yes,
there's a long line, the
Right.
cars aren't moving.
right.
Right. So you get out and you decide I'm going to start drinking here in the parking lot.
No, ma'am. I didn't drink until I got back inside my car.
Okay. But while you were at the Taco Bell, you started drinking. Had you drank before that?
No, ma'am.
So you're telling me that you started drinking at Taco Bell.
Yeah, I opened the container. That's how the beer came. It was on the floor.
So
of the
from the
vehicle.
time that you started drinking at Taco Bell to the time that the officers got there, about how long was that?
Maybe 15 to 20, 30 minutes, whatever.
Okay. How much did you drink between that time?
I had a malt liquor. The
Mhm.
211 is a strong beer.
Just one?
It was a 40 ounce.
Right. So you drank the whole 40
I was
ounces.
drinking out of the thing. After the fact that
You were drinking out of what?
after I stepped back in the car, I started drinking it.
Right.
And
So
then- so
how much of it did you drink?
I consumed a lot of it.
Okay. So let's just say you drank most of
Most of it.
one 40 ounce.
It was getting contained.
So that's your story and you're
I
sticking,
sang
hold
beer.
on. So is that your story and you're sticking with it, that you drank most of one 40 ounce beer in about 15 to 30 minutes and
Yeah.
that you hadn't drank anything before then?
No, except for that night before. About 2 o'clock that morning. And then
Okay.
whole blood, alcohol stays in your blood system added to what I drank.
Okay. So your test on this night after drinking most of a 40 ounce was 0.188. And you're wanting me to believe that that's based on most of one drink, and that maybe you still had alcohol in your system from the day before.
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
but what I recalling my memory, ma'am, I have no reason to try to trick you, Miss West. I'm telling you the God's honest truth. Like I said, I had alcohol in my system from the night before.
Well, how much did you drink the night before?
Well, I was intoxicated.
So what you're telling me then, if
And
you had, hang on, so if you had that much alcohol in your system from the night before, that you were still probably hold on. Watch where your story's going.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're telling me you had so much in your system the night before that it was going to still be in your blood, and you had just driven to the Taco Bell.
No, I drove into the Taco Bell later on that evening.
You're not right.
But it wasn't a full 24 hours.
Right. So if you're saying that 0.188 is because of the night before, then all likelihood you were drunk when you were driving from the night before, if I'm to believe your story that you only had most of one drink while you were there. See how that doesn't make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So let's go back. Obviously there's some medium acceptance of responsibility, so we can go forward with the arguments unagreed. Mr. Coleman, you have a witness?
Yes, Your Honor. State Cause Troy Robinson.
Mr. Robertson, if you please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Your Honor, the court's familiar with Mr. Robinson and his background. But
Sure.
For the purpose of the record, Mr. Robinson, you're certified as a fingerprint expert. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
How long have you been certified as a fingerprint expert?
Almost 6 years now,
Testified in court before?
multiple times.
You've had an opportunity to review some documentation in this case.
I have,
Did they include prior judgments for the defendant, Mark Anthony Segura?
they were.
I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit Number 1. Is State's Exhibit Number 1 a fair and accurate summary of the 20 previous felony judgments that you reviewed in this case?
It is.
Using your
20 felony judgments.
20 previous prior criminal judgments, including a number of felonies.
Correct.
Okay. In other words, both misdemeanors and felonies.
Yes, sir.
And did you use the defendant's admission to at least one of the DWIs that he pled true to that had a print on its judgment to compare to the judgments here that had prints on it?
That is correct.
And what was your determination?
They're the same person.
And in addition to the prints that you used to compare and confirm his identity on these judgments, were there also some personal identifying information such as date of birth, SID numbers, and that kind of thing that you used to link to this?
Correct. As known as that part.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I would offer State's Exhibit Number 1, which is a summary of the judgments and the actual judgments themselves that are marked as State's Exhibits 2 through 20. For purposes of the record, tender to defense counsel.
Let me just ask, are there any on that list that aren't already on the pre-sentence report? I mean, why are we doing
It's been a while
both?
since I looked at a judge. I did think that there was at least a couple of those judgments. It's been a while since.
Mr. Burbank, does your client,
I'm gonna,
hold on, does your client have any objection or any reason not to, for me not to take judicial notice of the PSI for sure, that those prior offenses listed in there and the ones that are convictions are any way wrong?
for the misdemeanors, that's correct.
Okay, so what about for the felonies? Are there one or more that are contest?
It's a catch-22, Judge.
Okay.
Because he's pled not true to them so that you'd have the full range of punishment.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah, so
So-
it's the two felonies that I think are crucial here.
all right. So then do you have any objection to the states? Was it 1 and 2?
Judge, it's,
No.
stage one is a summary.
I object
And
to
then-
states one because I was not given the misdemeanors.
Okay. My main concern
It's
are
the
the felonies. And if you have the actual judgments on those, why don't we do that way, even though it might be a little more documentation, Mr. Coleman? If you will go through primarily the felonies would be my concern.
Yes, Judge.
And,
Here's where I'd like to do, Judge. I'd like to admit the summary and just the felonies as a backup, because what I want the court to refer to is the summary. I want to talk about the summary.
well, I want to talk about, I mean, I've got the pre-sentence report. So I need to know if there's something in the summary that's not in this report. That's what I'm kind of used to looking at. I've already made my notes on it. I've got highlights. So if there's something that's not on that already, let me know. If there is, then obviously I will. So are that there are 19 misdemeanor convictions on the pre-sentence report, and that I've got 8 felony convictions.
I think I don't have 8, Judge. I think that there's at least one of them that was refused. If you refer to the PSI, that first one, that burglary, looks like it was refused.
Stop, don't, let us figure it out.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I show with convictions on the PSI, I've got a 91 possession of a controlled substance. There was a probation that was revoked for 5 TDC.
Yes, Judge.
Got a 96 manufacturing delivery of a controlled substance, 1 year jail. I've got a 03 possession of a controlled substance, 18-month state jail.
I have that.
I've got an 03 from April manufacturer delivery with 6 months state jail. I've got a January of 15 obstruction or retaliation, 2 TDC.
Yes.
I've got at the same date, a harassment of a public servant, 2 TDC. I've got a driving while intoxicated, 3rd or more. Offense date of 11 of 15, 3 TDC. And then I've got an 18 obstruction retaliation with 5 TDC. That totals 8 felony convictions.
That's more than what I had in my summary, Judge.
Okay. So are there then, I need at least whatever you have, because he has pled not true to the ones alleged in the indictment, which, let me pull that up.
Yes, Judge.
There's states 5.
May I elaborate?
He
Yeah.
needs to
Give him a
review the
second.
documentation.
The
So,
document's right there, state.
Hey, Mr. Burbank,
sorry,
you
Judge.
asked a question. Let him answer the question.
Yeah, I
Calm down.
would.
He's on it, I'm sure. Mr. Robinson?
yes, ma'am. So what I did is I took a known that he had pled true to. I used the fingerprint off of this known that was pled true to. And then I compared these documents to this document to the rest of these documents. Some of them have fingerprints, some of them do not have fingerprints. They, however, all have name, date of birth, identifiers of that nature, which is what I've compared to make these.
So in-
they're all true.
Does states 5 have the fingerprint? How did you,
I was going
do
through
states
that
5?
because several of them don't have the fingerprints, but
Okay.
there are a few that do.
Go ahead. Let me also, let's kind of stop, because there might be, right now, I told you to kind of focus in on the 3 that are in the indictment. The state did file a notice of intent to use prior convictions to enhance punishment back in January of this year of 2024. And so that motion lists it lists 6 felony offenses. So we obviously need to go through these 6 potentially as well.
Thanks.
Here's what I want to do. We're going to take I want to take a quick break. I'm going to take care of this other matter. Y'all go through, get it organized on the 6 that are in that motion. If any that are in that motion are not duplicative. I want to know which ones are duplicative of the ones in the indictment so that we're not talking about them twice. If there's 3 in the indictment and those are included in the motion, if some of them are, some of them aren't, be ready to tell me so I can know which ones we're going through so that I know if there's 6 that are being proved up, if there's 8 or 9 that are being 8. I show 8 on the PSI, potential felony priors. So I want to know kind of where we are on all that. Y'all can just go sit down and take a break for a minute. Don't leave the courtroom, Mr. Segura.
Yes, no, yes, ma'am.
There, because it was reduced, there wouldn't be a
I do not see an SID number, no, ma'am.
date of birth is correct. Name appears correct.
That is correct.
Investigator Robinson, is it fair to say that Mark Anthony Segura is a unique name? It's not like we're talking about a Mark Jones, if correct?
I don't know any other Mark Anthony Sears other than the one I've looked at.
Put your
on the
hand
paperwork.
down. And Mr. Segura, sitting there thinking that me asking these questions is somehow on your side
No, ma'am.
and making the head nods and all
No.
the things that are going on, you need to stop because
No.
it's not helping.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
So here's
I'm
what we're
begging for
gonna,
mercy.
hold on. Here's what we're gonna do. Mr. Segura, I want you to remain here in the courtroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Coleman, I'm gonna recess this hearing until 1 o'clock.
Yes, Judge.
When we get back at 1 o'clock during lunch, I need it all ready to go, lined out, whatever. If you want me to take it into consideration, now I've already taken judicial notice of the PSI, but if there are objections that this is not him, then this is what I'm asking you to do, Mr. Burbank. Specifically go through the PSI, or actually specifically go through the second amended notice of intent. And I want you to go through that, and I want to know which of those, and if it's all of them, that's fine. But if you're saying that this is not him, it's someone else, then I want to know that. If you're saying it's not admissible because of some identifying factors, I want to know that.
Your Honor, I believe that the ones that I'm arguing about are the TDC ones that I've already.
So then
filed
we're arguing right
objections to.
now about a misdemeanor. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
if we're not gonna argue about misdemeanors,
I'm not.
are there any on the list of misdemeanors that you are arguing that are
No.
not Mr. Segura?
No.
All right, so then, do you have any objection to my taking judicial notice then of the PSI, which includes 19 prior misdemeanor offenses?
No.
Okay, Then we can stop with all the misdemeanors. I don't even need to see those judgments. Are there any other felony? I have 3 in front of me now. Any
States two. Judge?
states 2, states
7,
6, and
and
states
6 and
7.
Has 6 been admitted, Judge?
I have states 2, 6, and 7. These are all 3 third-degree felony offenses that have been admitted into evidence. I have not made findings yet, but they are admitted. With regard to other felonies that you want me to take into consideration for punishment purposes, not necessarily enhancement, I know you said there was state jail that you kind of stopped on. Are there any?
There are some state jails for punishment purposes, Judge, but I think we've hit the limit on enhancement.
Okay.
felonies, Judge.
So with regard to the state jails, Mr. Burbank, it looks like on the PSI, I'm looking back now at the PSI, it appears that 2 of the several felony offenses, only 2 of them appear to be state jail felonies,
And those are back in 2003, Judge.
correct?
Where we received 18 months
And 6 months. Is there an objection
No, Your Honor.
to those, or me taking those into consideration, or any that's not Mr. Segura?
No, Your Honor.
All
There's
right.
also one in 96 that I'm not sure about. It said 1 year still, but I guess that's the misdemeanor.
That would have been
possibly.
probably before state jail. So I think that's the one that might have been reduced
Was
that
it
they were
one?
talking about. So that one I'm not taking into consideration as a felony. I am taking it into consideration as a lesser included or a reduction, whatever it was, that to that jail time in county.
Judge, in that case, the state has no other evidence to
Okay.
present. And if the court desires, we don't necessarily need to recess. If you've got.
Perfect. No,
other
let's
information.
keep going. So that means at this time, then, based on the evidence, do you have any evidence, Mr. Burbank, with regard to the findings that I'm going to make on count, States Exhibit 2, 6, and 7 comments.
There's one that I had no objection to. Was that two, Judge?
Right. So, I mean, I know you had, I don't remember now which one, but
The ones I filed, the ones I had objection in reference that it was insufficient
Okay.
to identify. That's just my objections.
perfect. Then at this time, I am going to, based on the evidence that has been included in the PSI, as well as States Exhibit 2, 6, and 7, I'm going to find that the prior criminal offense felony in cause number 15-23847, which is number 15 in the state's enhancement, is true. I am also going to find State's Exhibit number 6, which is cause number 15-22572, which is number 14 in the state's notice of enhancement, make a finding that that is true. In addition, States 7, which is cause number 18-30235, which is number 16 in state's notice of enhancement. I am also going to make the finding that that is true. So that are those 3 prior felony offenses. I have made findings of true. I am taking into consideration all of the other ones, with the exception of states number 5, which has not been introduced, but that was, we discussed, which is cause number 60328. I am going to make a finding of not true because I don't have enough evidence in that. It sounds like in that judgment to link Mr. Segur well enough to that offense. Everything else I'm taking notice of for punishment purposes.
And I know this is minor, Judge, but does that include the 2096? Let me show you in the PSI, in which he received 1 year before the state jail.
I just said that a minute ago. So in 96,
Okay, that's the one.
I'm taking notice that that was reduced and is not a felony. So, and what that means is that it appears as though there are this would be maybe the 7th or 8th. All right. So yes, I took judicial notice that that one was reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor back on the conviction date in 97. All right.